Hello everyone, welcome to my weekly live stream. My name is Christina Werner and I'm glad to have you here. Thanks for joining me. Tonight I'm going to be creating 2 birthday cards. This is sort of a 2-for-1 type situation because look at this awesome like panel die from Waffle Flower. You can cut it out and use it as with all the stars cut out, or you could use the actual stars that are cut out of the panel. So I'm going to use both and get kind of a 2-for-1 out of it. And this just came out on Friday. And then I've got a couple other die sets from Waffle Flower that came out in that same release. Lots of dies today. For each card, I've got different greeting die sets. I've got paper cut party banners and print and script happy birthday. And then this one, I wasn't sure if I would need it, but then I realized that if I'm going to have my card be exactly this size, I need the outer frame to cut for the card base. So that's where we're going tonight. I'm also going to be doing a couple of really simple envelopes to go with these cards. So, all right, so here's all of our little blending foams. And the cardstock I'm using today is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White 80 pound. It's kind of like my go-to. I always have a bunch of pre-cut, so it's really easy to work with because I don't have to stop and trim things out. Now we have our little background here. In fact, you know what? I'm thinking I want to do a little bit of water splatter on it. We'll get just to break up the pattern just a little bit. So I'm gonna spray some water into the palm of my hand, and then I'm just gonna put some little droplets on it. Maybe even spritz from far away. Okay, do some little flicks. And I'm going to grab a paper towel, and then I can just lay that down over the top, and then we just have a few little splatters. Okay, so now I'm going to take our die. This is the Waffle Flower Rounded Star panel, and I'm going to be running it through my die cutting machines. I don't know if that's going to be perfectly cut, but that's okay. All right, through the die cutting machine. All those pretty stars. I'm excited. That's going to be so cute. Then we've got this other end. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Actually, you know what? It'll be easier to use an already cut 5x7. And then all I have to do is make sure that this is like hanging off the top end. Looks like it cut through. No problem. I've just got some weird dust on the front from my die cutting sandwich. People are always telling me to try Fun Foam. Maybe we'll try Fun Foam. And I want to say that, like, when I've heard people talk about cutting Fun Foam, they actually like would glue this panel to the Fun Foam and then cut it all at once, but we're already past that point, so we can't do that. And I like that it's a little bit more sturdy than if I was doing like a grating or something. All right, so how is this being adhered? I think it's like that. Okay, kind of squiggle all around, get in between each one. I'm wondering if it would have been easier to do the micro dots now, because then it would get right up close to those edges, you know? I'm just going to try to get this lined up the best I can. And it won't be perfect because the foam has moved just a little bit and stretched just a little bit, but you know what? I think it'll be okay in the end because it really emphasizes the outline of the stars, so I think it'll be okay. You can really see that dimension. So we're going to be putting this directly on top of the card base. Yeah, that's gonna look nice. Okay, so more of that glue on the back, right up on those edges. So once again, I'm going around the outer edge with some glue and kind of, it's like just slightly bigger because of the foam kind of expanded, which I think is hilarious. But okay, so now I'm going to put my paperweights on top. That's going to help hold that foam down onto the card base. So I did a little bit of pre-die cutting and I made some little glittery strips. I think you guys can see the glitter on that. It's a little sparkly. But I have these 3 and I thought I would just glue them like this. It's your day, make a wish, happy birthday, just right across. Now I cut out each one of these 3 times out of white cardstock and then 1 time out of Lawn Fawn Pixie Dust cardstock. So that's how I prepared those. And I'm just going to hold on to one of them. And then I stacked and put them together. Then you know what would just really set this off? I was gonna say add some sequins, but it's kind of a busy card already, right? So I don't think I'm gonna do anything to it. I'm gonna leave it just as is. But that's pretty cute. It's pretty dimensional though. So let's see if it will actually go into a regular envelope. I think it's gonna be too thick, especially with those die cuts all stacked. But we'll see. It's definitely very snug. Ooh, it doesn't really fit. And then it's really tight when you're like pulling it out. And then that's no fun for the recipient, right? Okay, so I'm gonna grab a white A6 envelope. And that's gonna give me just a little bit more space. And as long as it goes through my little slot that I have. All right, so this envelope is just slightly larger than a regular A2 envelope. And it's just gonna give it a little bit more space to fit inside nicely. Yeah, that fits good. You know, I think it'll be thin enough. Let's check. I have my little First Class Mail shape-based template. And as long as it fits through this slot, then we're okay. We're totally good. It totally goes through, no problem. All right, I don't think it's particularly heavy, but let's weigh it just to be sure that it's not over 1 ounce. If it is over 1 ounce, we'll just put some additional postage. It should be fine. Okay. Oh, we are well under 1 ounce. We are totally good. We're totally good. Okay, so there's 1 card ready to go. This other one's gonna be a really, really simple card. I'm just gonna do a die cut sentiment and then adhere some of those stars. So I have my pre-cut card base, just another A2 card. We have all these stars to work with. And the die that I'm going to use is the Print and Script Happy Birthday die set. So I think I'm going to do a scripty happy and then the more bold birthday. I've got a bunch of different glitter cardstocks that could work with this. Okay, they have their Pink Brilliance set. I think like a pink ruby might be really pretty. Oh, I think it might be okay. Yeah, we're good. Oh yeah, that is going to be really cute. So I get that kind of hovered, let it pick it up with the stickiness of the glue. And then you can sort of slide your die cut on the liquid glue. And then I've learned over the years, like if as long as your glue is one that dries clear, don't worry about any of the glue squidging out, because you can deal with that later. It'll just dry clear. It doesn't even work. It doesn't matter. Okay, so it does irritate me when there's tons of glue squidging out everywhere, even though it dries clear. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. Just for the happy birthday. And I'll put that Share Handmade Kindness paperweight right on top. I'm going to keep them flat. I thought about doing some on adhesive, like foam adhesive, but I'm going to keep them really flat like this. So I'm just going to pick each one up, put a dab of glue, and kind of wiggle it in place so it kind of smears the glue. And there's plenty of stars here that are left over. I could even leave them for another project. I'll just use some white cardstock, that'll be fine. I'm just gonna cut it and run it through, and that'll be my template, or my stencil, I should say. So we're gonna use those same oxide inks to blend on our envelopes. I'm just gonna ink blend a little bit over here, and then I can just come in on the side. I'm gonna tape this from underneath. Daphne. Hello, do you guys hear her meowing? She is so loud. All right, are you gonna let me pick you up? People wanna see you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Okay. All right, I have a cat. You're just gonna probably see the top of her head because I don't have my other camera set up. But like, here's her little paw. Here's Daphne's cute little paw. Okay, are you gonna, okay, let me hold you. Come in like this. She's like, what the? Put me down. Her cute little whiskers. Okay, sometimes she'll let me hold her like a baby, and then you can see her face. Hi. What are you doing, Daph? Okay. Ta-da. There's a cute little Daphne with her little green eyes. Hi, Daph. Oh, she's totally purring. You hear all that purring? She's a little purr monster. Okay. Hold on, let me put you down. Okay, hold on. Okay, go. Be free. Okay. Yes, Daphne squeaks, and it's adorable. I love her little squeaks. Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of Easy C tape just to hold this onto the envelope from behind. All right, let's do some Distress Micro Glaze really quick on these because it is oxide ink, so it will not, you know, it will not be salvaged if it gets wet or any moisturizer at all. So I'm taking Micro Glaze. This is Tim Holtz Distress Micro Glaze, using a little mini round blending tool. And I mostly just need to get this half where the ink is. This pen that I use is waterproof, so I really just need to get the Distress ink, and I'm making sure I don't go onto the postage stamps. All right, so we'll buff that off in a moment. Same thing with this one, just mainly getting the inking. Okay, and then I ball up my paper towel and I just buff that into it on both. All right, so here's the card for this envelope, and here's the one for this one. So here are the envelopes and the cards for today's live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. All of the products I used today are available online. I've got links for you down below. The dies specifically are brand new from Waffle Flower. Big thanks to Waffle Flower for sending those on to me. And the inks are over at Simon Says Stamp. The pen that I use for addressing these, if it's still available, it will be at jetpens.com. I'll link that down below as well. And thank you so much for joining me. I will be back soon with another video. Just a reminder, there will not be a live stream next week. I'm hoping to have my craft room video for you guys. So come back for that. Enter the giveaway to win some crafty items. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.